On the road to Macstock with David Ginsburg of InTouch with iOS. This is MacVoices. This edition of MacVoices is supported by MacVoices Live, our weekly live panel discussion of what is going on in the Apple space as well as the larger tech world and how it is impacting you. Join us live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, or whatever time that is wherever you are, at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV, and participate in the chat, or catch the edited and segmented versions of the show on the regular MacVoices channels and feeds. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is a special MacVoices. Well, actually, they're all special, but the next few over the next few weeks, we'll be doing some extra special ones because they are our Road to Macstock series. We're all going to be headed to Illinois, Crystal Lake, if I remember correctly, because the location has changed this year. But it's Crystal Lake, Illinois in July for Macstock. We're going to be seeing a lot of our friends. You're now going to be seeing, though, a lot of the presenters here because we do the Road to Macstock series to give you an idea of who the presenters are and what they will be talking about. The ground rules, in case you're new to this, are that we're not asking them to give the presentation. We're asking them to talk about what they will be talking about. So it's sort of talking around the topic, but we may touch on it a little bit. We don't want to, though, have them give the presentations here. We want you at Macstock in Illinois in July. So this time around, we get to talk to Mr. David Ginsburg, someone that you probably all know already. David, great to see you as always, and I'm anxious to head out to Macstock.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see you. It's been too long, and yeah, thanks for having me. And yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I tell you, I mean, technically it's 10 years since Macstock has started. We had, of course, a little bit of break with when we had the unfortunate pandemic, but yeah, I can't believe it's been 10 years, and 8 of those years, counting this year, I'll be speaking as well as you. And this is going to be some great times. So that's definitely for sure.
It is. I think there are just a very few speakers that have been, well, there for either all of them, or I think I know I missed one because I had COVID and didn't think it was right to come out and expose everybody. Right. But other than that, I've been there every year. I think you've been there every year. Yep. I think Allison had to miss a year, but either one or two because she had some other conflicting plans. But it's just always such a great weekend. It's great to see your friends, and every single year we make new friends, and that's arguably even the better part of it.
Absolutely, yeah. I can't emphasize that enough. Is how amazing the networking is, and just meeting new people, getting to see all our friends, and hang out with all like Apple enthusiasts and technology enthusiasts for that matter, and how could you not have fun? Because we all love Apple. We all love having talking about technology, and that this is a great place to go in order to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I know it sounds, we say this every year, and I doubt people really seriously believe it, but there are no strangers. You can walk up and strike up a conversation easily, and it's going to be completely natural and feel like you've talked to them forever. So,
absolutely.
Well, let's get to your talk, though. What are you presenting this year?
Well, I've been presenting all kinds of great topics over the last 7 sessions before to this year. And this year I decided to talk a little bit about Apple services. I tell you, Apple has just really exploded on the services scene. I mean, we go way back to 2001 when we started with iTools, and we go all the way up to now today with the Apple services that are available. Now that Apple offers the bundle with Apple One, it makes it even more of an attractive way of taking advantage of a lot of these services. And so I'm going to just go through that and talk about the ecosystem of Apple and the services, and kind of focus on some of all the services that they're offered, and and give everybody insight. What is Apple One worth your money?
So let's see how I do here with this, because I think there are some services out there that people don't necessarily think of as Apple services, but they fall under that umbrella at the very least if you count it for financial reporting. So we have iCloud storage, obviously. We have Apple TV Plus. We have Apple Music. We have Apple News. We have, forgive me, I'm not a gamer, so I can't think of the name of the
Apple Arcade.
Game. Apple Arcade, thank you very much. How do I see? Now I just broke down because I broke my train of thought. What else do we have? What did I miss?
You left it at Apple Fitness, but you have and you did iCloud and you did Apple Arcade. Now and Apple TV Plus. Don't forget that. That's a service. But there are also some other services I may touch on a little bit on the financial end. The Apple Card, that's a service. Apple Care, that's a service. So Apple has a lot of services. Even those are. So I'll be touching upon some of the ones you may not even know they're services, but really you think about it, they are.
No, you're right. You got me, because I would not have named Apple Card as a service, even though it is.
Yeah. Because
it goes beyond just being a credit card, with the cash back options and with the savings account option. And so, yeah, that's an interesting addition or interesting inclusion.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like I said, you don't think about Apple Care as a service, but it really is. I mean, it's giving you a service of an extended warranty of your Apple product, and you're working with Apple with that service and trying to get your product repaired or replaced, depending on the situation. So yeah, we'll touch upon that a little bit as well. It's a kind of extend beyond just the discussions of the products. But I'm going to go a little bit down memory lane a little bit too, talk some of the old services. We'll have some little fun with that, and probably not so memorable things that Apple had in the past. So we'll kind of see how services have evolved over the last 20 years plus since they've started a service.
And we often look back in some of them and say, boy, that they dropped the ball on that one, but each one of those was a step toward where we are now, to what we have now.
Exactly.
And I am not going to do your presentation here, but
no.
There are services that have been offered and renamed and renamed, and
oh my gosh,
sometimes that can get confusing.
I'll save it. I'll save it for the presentation because I know I'm going to get a few laughs and a few. Oh my god, I remember that, and that's what's going to make it fun. And I'm gonna bring some more interaction in the presentation too. I may even dabble into a little bit of a survey, finding out what people do and things like that. So I mean, I'm gonna really try to get people to interact with the presentation beyond. We all stand up there, speak about what our topic is going to be, but to get people to interact, I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm going to try something to see if we get some interaction to the presentation.
Oh, I like it. So Dave is teasing us.
Yeah.
But there's another reason I really like this idea for a presentation. Not only is this something that anyone in the audience can relate to from a user perspective, but for those of us that are interested in Apple as a company and a corporation and an investment opportunity, services have become so important to Apple, and especially if you give the analysts 50% of their credibility, it's going to be even more important going forward. So you're kind of hitting it from both angles.
Yeah, you really are. And to be able to cover a lot of this, I thought that's why I picked this topic. I thought it'd be really interesting to find out more and more and get a little more in depth. You don't see too many presentations that will go in depth with services. We saw, you do that, and you have this service. You have this service. Oh yeah, we have that. So I'm gonna just kind of give it a bit of a spin. I got my 45 minutes to give some great information and have a little bit of fun too, because we all are spending money on these services. It'd be a good education to find out what ones are and what ones aren't, and we just talked about a few you didn't even think of.
And the idea, because when I started out trying to name them, I stumbled a little bit on Apple Music because that's been around for so long, and you kind of forget that yes, that definitely falls into the service category because A, you're paying for it, but B, it's being constantly delivered. So just like you said with Apple Card, there are things that you don't really think of necessarily as a service that really are.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We really don't. There might be a couple more I might have up my sleeve. We don't ever think of. I'll tease a little bit. So you got to come out and see it.
Well, and of course, as we record this, we haven't had Apple's WWDC yet. So you never know what they might pull out and add to your presentation.
They very much could. They very much could.
Dave, I know that Mike has been very kind to give the speakers all a discount code to offer for their listeners and viewers. So what code can they use if they want to support Macstock through you?
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's for my podcast, In Touch with iOS. So if you type in all one word, In Touch with iOS, you will save $30 off of the price of the admission. Whether you go with the 2-day plan, which is just with these presentations, or the new 3-day plan with the workshops. I can't wait to see some of these workshops, especially some I know who are speaking, and some are doing both, which is brave and a good amount of work. But no, it's because we love our friends who are doing a lot of these presentations because they're so passionate about this stuff. And more of a reason to come to Macstock, just for that reason alone, is just the passion of all the presenters and what they want to share with you.
So, folks, you can go to Macstock Conference and Expo.com, use Dave's code, which is, Dave?
In Touch with iOS, all one word.
To save $30 off admission. You can use my code, which is MacVoices. There's a big surprise. To save the $30 off. You can't stack them. Sorry about that, but that doesn't work. But they work for either a 2-day admission or the full 3-day admission, including the Friday workshops.
Absolutely.
So please join us. I promise you will have a great time. You will learn a whole lot. Every year I come home with a list of things I want to try that I've learned, or people I want to reconnect with after the fact. So it's the best weekend of the year.
It really is. And I got the advantage of being local. I live in the Chicago area, so I get to be here and go right to Crystal Lake, Illinois. The venue is going to be amazing. I've seen that venue before, and it's the one great thing about it is the fact it's going to be everything can be all in one place. We don't even have to leave the hotel the whole time we're there because they have a great restaurant. They have most people, if I hope, is going to get rooms. They're going to be staying there. So we always had that challenge in years past where we had to get who's going to drive who, get us to where we were going to go. But now we can hang out together and have fun and not have to leave if we don't want to.
Yeah, it's Mike by moving it to this new venue has made it even easier because, as you said, once you get there, I mean, obviously you're not in prison; you can leave if you want to, but you don't need to. You for the formal sessions, for the inevitable informal bowl sessions that start up at after dinner and go till whatever time that anybody wants to stay up till. It's good. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, like you said, if you don't want to stay, there's like so many restaurants right nearby there. I mean, just basically across the street. So it's not too far from the hotel. So if you want to go do something different for one of the days, yeah, by all means, you have that option.
So one more time, Macstock Conference and Expo.com. Register now and join us in Crystal Lake. We're going to have a blast.
Absolutely.
Dave, I will see you then.
I will see you as well.
Sounds good. Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. We'll have more Road to Macstock shows coming up. Until then, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.